Hello.
Are you waiting for people to join?
How's it going? 10 people who've joined the chat. Welcome, everyone. Say hello to my dog and my wife. We're out here chilling. Welcome to the very first Grace Students group chat. Here's how this works. Every Wednesday night at 8, I'm going to be getting on here to do a live Q&A. Any questions you got, I got answers, I hope. And I'm going to be inviting some special guests every week to join us. And so this week, we have two special guests. The first one is someone named Derek Fry, who's very special to me. He's one of my best buds. It's a good dude. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get Derek in here. Chat. Nick says any question. You can ask any question, but I can't guarantee that I'll answer any question. Derek. There we go. Oh, get your answer.
Yeah. Yo, I'm right by the router. This is bad.
It's fine. It's fine. So, Derek, how you doing tonight?
I am good. I just ate dinner and it's going good.
Okay. How's quarantine?
It's pretty bad. Working from home. Got some house projects I'm doing. Just got my espresso maker, as Billy knows, because he came down to get a nice cup of espresso this morning. So yeah, but it's going good. Spending time with the kids and my wife. So yeah.
I like it. So, everyone watching, we're going to need you to add some questions in the chat, and we are going to do our best. Jaden Boucher has a question to Derek, and he says, Derek, why did you leave us?
I didn't leave you. I had a baby.
Well, I didn't
have the baby. My wife had the baby. I'm not getting into science tonight.
Okay, that's fine. So Derek did not leave you.
Yeah.
We will take any question, any topic, like Sean Snyder says.
Can we block Sean?
What do I need to do to get a dad bod like Derek's? Derek, what do you think? What do the people need to do? They're looking for a workout routine.
Well, Sean, believe it or not, you don't have to be a dad to have a dad bod, because I had the dad bod way before having kids. But no, you just got to eat a lot of junk food.
Okay, so speaking of that, what's your favorite flavor of cake?
Flavor of cake? I'm not a big cake guy.
Okay, well, answer the question.
You know what? I like Dairy Queen ice cream cake. The Blizzard cakes. Those are good.
Okay. Yeah. Nick Cleveland would like to know, how will Baker Mayfield do next year?
Browns are going to go 11-5, and we're going to win the AFC North, and Baker's going to get back on track. So
let's go. I like that.
Nick, you can take that to the bank.
Take it to the bank for Baker. I love it. Let's see. Corson Kaufman says, who has the better beard?
That's Billy. It's Billy.
Let us know. Who has the better beard?
It's Billy. I got too much neck.
Is it this man beard going on here, or is this Derek's kind of scraggly, sort of like little boy beard?
I'm like a middle school teenager trying to grow a beard, and it's really bad.
I like it. Let's see. Noel Cross says, how was the espresso machine? Derek, you just got an espresso machine. Any review?
Yeah, it's amazing. I've only had one cup, but I mean, it's awesome so far. So Billy, what was your opinion?
I thought it was delicious. Jaden Boucher says, Derek, what are the odds you shave your beard?
None. I have about 3 chins underneath here, so I got to protect those and hide those. So not a chance.
Okay. All right. That's beautiful. Wow. Great question. The beard is a great solution to hide the beard. Becca says, can you both show us a high school photo of yourselves? Sure.
It's about 100 pounds ago now.
Yeah, I don't know how to get back there that far.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have it. Yeah.
Oh, Abby Anderson says, show us your baby. Is that weird?
They're both upstairs. I can bring my son down.
Here you go. There he is. That's my baby. Derek doesn't have a baby.
Yeah,
Don't like
I'm
listening.
downstairs in the quiet so I can answer questions. So
Okay, all right. What else do you got? Austin Morgan just joined. Thanks for jumping in, Austin.
Sean, what kind of a
Sean
question
was
is this?
asked, would you rather have no feet or no hands? What do you think, Derek?
I'm gonna go no feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but all right. I respect it.
I mean, what would you say? No feet or no hands?
I want to say that's true. No feet, can't run. No hands, can't grab anything.
Yeah. It's a double negative.
Yeah, so I'm going to say also no feet. That's just my opinion. Great questions, everyone. Really good stuff.
I know Sean's got more of those types of questions. Look out.
Becca says you don't have to buy shoes if you have no feet. Then you save money. That's really good. That's
Good
great.
point.
Do you want to have another question for Derek before we dismiss him from the chat and move on? It's not personal.
Miss me. It's whatever.
Do you want to have? Let's get like one or two more questions for Derek here.
Come on.
What do you got? We've got Sean is just asking the dumbest questions. Would you rather have toes for fingers or fingers?
Oh.
I'm not answering that. Jaden says, okay, we're gonna have to delete Jaden from the chat.
Yeah. Can we block him? Block.
Questionable. Wow, that's something else. Okay, we got a bunch of people on, a bunch of people joined. Welcome. What we're doing is what we call group chat. This is going to be a live video every Wednesday night, just answering your questions, live Q&A. We're going to have some special guests. We have some great special guests coming up. Here you go, Derek. As a current Grace Students leader, you were also a Grace Students person. When you were like a student, you were a Grace Students student. So tell us like your favorite memory of Grace Students when you were a student.
You know, I didn't go all the time. I thought when I was in high school, I was a big sports guy. I thought basketball was way more important than everything. Sports were way more important. So, but I did go. That's actually where I had my first interaction with my wife. So that's a great moment. I got baptized when I was a junior in high school by Nick Cleveland. So that was great as well. But yeah, just as far as mission trips go, I would say on the Cleveland trip. Back when my guys were, 8th graders, I think. That was an awesome trip to just see them. That was where they started to learn how to tell their story about how they became Christ followers. So that was pretty awesome.
Nice. What a good memory. Way to go. That's good stuff, Derek. Thanks a lot. We have one last question for you. This is from Sean, and it's actually a good question. If you guys see the question Sean sent in, you'd be disturbed. Actually, I'll just tell you. Sean said, of your two kids, which do you love more? That's terrible. Don't answer that.
Stop that.
But here's a serious question. Last question for you. Sean asked, when did you commit your life to Christ? Tell us your story, Derek.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I grew up with divorced parents. So my mom was working 2-3 jobs at the time, and she did a great job instilling in me at a very young age that we were, a Christian family. So we started coming to Grace. Oh gosh, I'd say I'm 26 now. I would say about 18 years ago, we started coming to Grace. So that's when it was actually after a baseball all-star game we had lost, and I was really upset about it. And I just was looking up to the sky actually, and I just started asking my mom questions. So it was that night, I believe I was 9 when I fully committed my life to God. So yeah.
Awesome. Dude, thank you. Thanks for joining group chat tonight. Brooklyn Maxwell asks, is everyone that you're interviewing first from Norway? And she's correct.
Yeah, because we're the best.
Our next guest on group chat is also a Norwegian grad. So everyone say goodbye to Derek.
Bye, guys. Thanks for letting me hang out. Peace out.
I'll walk by your house tomorrow again.
All right, you creeper.
Man, we're going to add in Kollin Moore here in a moment. Let me get him pulled up. Kollin is like the man, the myth, and the legend. Let's see. Got him added in now. Momentarily connecting. There we go. Awesome. What's up, Kollin?
Very close to my face. What's up?
How you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Great, dude. Welcome to group chat. For those who have just joined in, it's gonna be a weekly thing. Wednesday nights at 8, live Q&A with some special guests. And tonight we have one of the most special guests that I could think of, a Norway Bobcat, an Ohio State Buckeye, and just an all-around great guy, Kollin Moore. So everyone, welcome, Kollin. Thank you again for joining us. I think that you could go with no introduction probably in Wayne County, but just to give some context. For those who don't know, Kollin is a great wrestler, not just great, but a GOAT level wrestler, incredibly successful at Norway, been incredibly successful at Ohio State, and will continue to be incredibly successful. But one of the things I appreciate most about him, knowing his story, is that his life isn't just defined by wrestling or by sports, but it's really defined by his faith. So that's part of why I wanted to have Kollin join us. Hannah points out, I'm ashamed of myself, the Ohio State University. I was just nervous. I've never done this before. I'm sorry. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to do a little bit of just open Q&A. So anyone can just ask a question below, and what would you like to hear from Kollin? And then I've got a few questions myself. So we'll just kind of chat here for a bit, and feel free to ask any question below, and we'll do our best to answer it. Here's a question. Someone says, "What's the best Little Debbie snack?" What do you think, Kollin?
Are zebra cakes Little Debbie? Are zebra cakes Little Debbie?
I think so, dude.
Let's go zebra cakes or ho-hos. Yeah.
Yes. I love it. Great choice. Great choice. Becca Maynard says, "How long have you wrestled for?"
So I've probably been wrestling since I was like 5 or 6. So solid, probably 18 years around there. Yeah. Long time.
What was the thing that drew you to wrestling over other sports?
Well, my dad was a good wrestler back in the day, and so it was something I always grew up with, and I liked how I could really, get better by myself. There's like that one-on-one aspect, it's all on you. And it really drew me to the sport. You can really just kind of, problem solve, every day, just by yourself, just watching and messing around and stuff like that. So, and I was always, a big physical, roughhouse guy. So I like, wrestling a lot.
All right. So speaking of that, Nick Cleveland, who was both of our pastor, for both of us when we were in youth group, and now he says, "How long would Billy last until you pin him in seconds?" Milliseconds?
I don't know, man.
I've got some height, man.
Yeah, you got height on me. That's a lot of leverage. I don't
No
know.
way. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, dude. That would be.
It's up to you.
I honestly have a tightness in my chest as I thought about that scenario. Like, being across the mat from you and the whistle blows, I don't feel good about that at all. That's not going to go well for me.
The fight or flight kicks in. I think you do better than you think.
Yeah, we hope. So here's a couple fun ones. Netflix or Disney Plus?
I'm a huge Disney fan, so I might go Disney Plus. I like Disney Plus.
Okay. What about Spotify or Apple Music?
Spotify.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's like your favorite? Or what are you listening to right now? What's really good? What are you
So I go through phases. Right now I'm in like a folk phase. So kind of like an indie folk, indie rock phase. So like a lot of Lumineers, Mount Joy.
All right.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Drew Rader says, is Chipotle fast food?
Ooh. No. Are there some Chipotles with a drive-through?
I don't know.
I think it has to have a drive-through for it to be fast food for me.
Good point. I'm with you. Let's see, a couple more. Cheez-Its or Goldfish?
Cheez-Its. Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Sorry, I got a phone call. I might put it.
It's all good. It's all good.
There we go. All right. No, no, absolutely not. It's a hot dog.
More like a taco than a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. Let's see. What is your favorite book in the Bible? Do you have a favorite book?
I would say Colossians. Yeah, I like Colossians a lot. I've been meaning to read Acts. I've read bits and pieces of it, but I've never read all the way through Acts. But it seems just an awesome book. So, but Colossians is my favorite right now.
All right. It's good stuff. Let's see. Derek would like to know who would win in a wrestling match, Billy or me. So Derek or I, who's going to win?
I might. Are you taller?
I'm taller, but he's got the dad bod, 2 kids in, so got some weight on me.
Dad strength is a thing. I think I'd give it to you. I think
Okay.
you got the height. You got a little more leverage. Yeah.
I respect that. Okay, and a kid from Woo says, is Coachy House the best pizza in Wayne County?
I don't know how many other local. I don't know of any other famous local pizza joints from Worcester.
Yeah.
So I would say it's definitely the most famous. I don't know if it's my favorite pizza. I like it, but it's not my go-to pizza. So I was no.
Fair enough.
Ish.
No-ish. I like it. Okay. So let's talk. Sophia says, no, it is not. Dang. Let's talk a little bit more about wrestling, and we'll get into the topic I really want to talk about. Brooklyn Maxwell asked, would you rather have an easy match where you just dominate, like if you're wrestling me, or would you rather have an intense match that's challenging, back and forth, neck and neck? What do you think?
I would say most of the time I like intense matches, right? I like the challenge. I like that adrenaline rush of you just don't know what's gonna happen, and the problem solving of in match thinking and stuff like that. So the challenges that come with really intense match are really fun, especially when you come out on the winning side.
Right.
But at some points during the season, I do really enjoy a nice, easy match. The body's beat up and stuff. It is fun to just kind of go out and everything feels nice and crisp and smooth and stuff. So
you just lay the snake down. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. A couple questions have come in now about the NCAA is getting canceled, right on the brink of things. And so I'm right in saying you were ranked number 1, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Your record this year was
27-0, I think.
27-0. So you're undefeated. You're ranked number 1 heading into the tournament. Things get pulled out from underneath you, and that's on a very high level of excellence. You've worked for a long time. There's probably a lot of students watching right now who will watch this later who are dealing with this on a different level of just man, they've been looking forward to baseball, softball, track, lacrosse. And you're dealing with this on the highest possible level of your sport. It seems like. How have you processed, the tournament being canceled? How have you worked through that in your own heart?
I think, it's nothing you can really, deal with in the moment. I think I was well prepared for the moment. I had a good mindset going into the season of what my, purpose was for the year and why I wanted to wrestle. So I set a goal. My goal every match was to inspire people by the way I, wrestled, how I acted, my intensity, my passion for what I was doing. And hopefully that reflected God somehow. And I feel like I did that. I feel like I wrestled in that way. I felt like I grew as a person, as a leader on the team. So all that kind of prepared me. And I didn't know it was preparing me, but God kind of prepared me through this season for this moment. I was so ready for whatever happened, at the end of the year. Obviously, I didn't know this was going to happen. But, yeah, I remember having, being really upset for about a couple hours. And then after that, it was just like a very calm feeling of just a great perspective on everything that was happening and why I'm here and my purpose of, why I wrestle didn't go away just because I didn't get to compete, in that NCAA tournament.
I like that, dude. That's awesome. And it has to take, from my seat, it seems like that would have to take a perspective that is greater than just your own for you to be able to look at it that way. How important is your faith, to your life? How important was your faith to this scenario?
I think it was everything, really. I mean, I prayed for like a peace of mind pretty much every day. Going into practice and definitely into a competition, I would just pray for God to, put my mind at peace, and just give me clarity, and perform, not for me, but for Him. Mm-hmm. And I think that really, like I said, it prepared me for this moment, even though I wasn't, didn't know this was coming, but He really gave me a peace of mind when I needed it most. And I definitely wouldn't have had that, if I wouldn't have been, praying that throughout the season.
Awesome, man. If you would, if you'd be good with it, I wonder if you might be willing to share just like what is your story with God? How did you start a relationship with God? When did you meet Jesus? What did that look like in your life?
Yeah, so I grew up going to Grace Church ever since I can remember. I, accepted Jesus when I was very young. I got baptized in the 6th grade. So, I always grew up around the church. But, as any Christian, you fade and then you get closer from God, at different points in your life. And I think, my sophomore year, I started to get, or after my redshirt freshman year in college, I started to get, better and better at wrestling. Get, people know your name. You get a lot of ego involved. And that was definitely a time where I was, fading, from my relationship with Christ. And my season definitely didn't end the way, I wanted to, right? I was ranked first in the country, a lot like this year. And then the end of the season kind of just fell apart on me, right? But I didn't have that relationship with God that I should have. And, it kind of took a toll on my mind, on my body and stuff. So I definitely made a big, big commitment after that to make sure that would never happen again. And I realized the importance of trying not to fade too far away. It's not saying I'm never gonna, fade again, but never get that far away, never lose sight of God and why I'm doing things. And it's very important to have a purpose. And God gives you that purpose, So I'd say right now I'm in a very good place. I have a very good, relationship with God, and it's made, a world of difference and in everyday life, how I attack school, how I attack wrestling, practice, competition, everything.
Awesome. Dude, you are, as Nick said down below, class act. Totally true. And I think, you're already an inspiration to people in Wayne County, not just in Norway, but all around, just as a legend in Wayne County sports. But I think that you are, the cool thing about you, you have the substance, you have the, you know, the character, and the faith that really sets you apart. So someone asked earlier, what is next for you? Because just because this season ended, doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you're done forever, right? So what's next?
Yeah, so, well, originally I had qualified for the Olympic trials, which were supposed to be 2 weeks after NCAA's. But as you all know, that has all gotten messed up too. So they decide, I think, next week on if I get another year of eligibility or not.
Mm-hmm.
And still trying to decide if I would take it anyways. But I'm definitely going to continue wrestling at least until 2024. You know, if my body can hold up,
Yeah.
which I think it will, but you never know. Stuff happens. So I definitely want to stay probably at Ohio State and train until 2024. They postponed the Olympics, so I'm still qualified for trials and everything. I'm not sure when that's going to be. So it's probably the first time in my life where there's not, you know, a competition coming up in at least, you know, a month or two. So it's a very interesting, unique experience. But everyone's going through the same thing, really. So we're all going to figure it out.
All right. All right. Well, good luck to you with what's coming up next. Appreciate you a ton. The question that I would love to end on is how competitive is the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry in wrestling compared to, obviously, football's up in, that's the one in front of all of us. Is it equally as competitive? Do you have any good story about going up against Michigan when it comes to wrestling?
Man, I would say I don't think anything's as competitive as the football rivalry. But I definitely hate losing to anything from Michigan, anybody from Michigan. I hate it. But that's me as an Ohio kid. So there's always that instilled rivalry of Michigan guys. We can't lose to these guys. Probably my favorite memory was beating Michigan at Michigan. I remember, and Kyle Snyder lost that duel too. So it was a close duel. It was down to the wire, but it was pretty satisfying going into Ann Arbor and beating those guys.
Yes.
But I'm actually friends with a lot of guys on their team. I've made a couple of world teams with a couple of the wrestlers there, and some of them are from Ohio. So it's a little weird because I want to not like them at all, but most of them are good guys. So
bigger than sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cater Miller wants to know if you get the little pants that football players get, the gold pants.
We get gold singlets.
Gold singlets. Let's go.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can.
Let's go. All right. Love it.
But it has
do you have?
Score there. What's that?
How many do you have? Gold singlets?
Unfortunately, I only have one. So we didn't wrestle them my freshman year. We beat them my sophomore year. We lost to them last year, and then we didn't wrestle them this year. So I don't know why we don't wrestle Michigan every year. It's very weird scheduling, but I wish we did.
You have one more than the rest of us.
Yeah.
Someone just said, nor what? And you'd say, nor Wayne. There we go. All right. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, say goodbye to Kollin.
See you guys.
A ton. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Thanks for jumping in on group chat. See you, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. Well, that is our very first group chat. We're going to do this every Wednesday night. Next week, I have more special guests. They're both from South Carolina. One of them is bald, and one has an Australian accent. Don't miss out on it. Everyone who joined us, appreciate you. Follow us on @GreatStudents. When this whole